Hey everybody, it's David from Red Wagon Dioramas. Thought I'd turn on the camera and just do a little bit of live streaming here from my workbench tonight. It's Saturday evening and I've got my hands into a little project here and thought I might just record some of it and maybe make a video of it out of it at some point. So I am working on this Grogu Pop figure. Picked this up today at Target. It was on sale. I think it was like $17. I have seen it cheaper, but had my eye on it for a while because it has this cool little light up feature. You guys have probably seen this. I don't collect pops at all, actually. I think this is the second pop I've ever bought. And but this one has this cool little button with a sound effect and a light. And so you can probably tell what I'm going to do here for Black Series is I'm basically going to assemble this thing and have it so I can have the Black Series Grogu on it and light up. Just a little workbench project tonight. All I've done is, basically I want to get a little Black Series Grogu here. I want to have this set up eventually so he's there. And then I can do a little diorama display with this guy and turn it on. So this Grogu pop is probably, I don't know, I'm not going to throw it away, but I have no use for it, but it's kind of cool. A little bobblehead of him meditating. So he'll go to the side. But I just thought I'd show you guys, I did get this thing apart. I did slice my finger too, so be careful cutting it. But basically if you get one of these, it's just got an on and off switch. Sorry, pardon me. It's got an on and off switch. The sound effect and the light is triggered here with the button here. But there's just 4 screws. And that, geez, I'm gonna leave it off. 4 screws. And that comes out fairly easily. Get the battery pack and the speaker there. You can see how it lights up here. So yeah, just two LEDs and a speaker there. Let me see if anybody's online right now. Let me see. Where's my channel? Anyway, feel free to chime if you guys any questions or anything, or just want to chat Star Wars or chat Black Series. I'll pop into the chat here on my laptop. All right, there we go. So basically, I'm going to take this this Funko Pop setup and turn it into a Black Series diorama. I've got the Black Series Grogu here. He's going to sit on top of this, and it's all going to light up. And I had to take it apart to figure out, well, first of all, what I'd have to do to make this work. And this was impossible to get off the pop. I actually had to use the Dremel here, use a kind of a round grinder bit, and I had to come in from the underside and grind that all out to get the Grogu pop off of there. That was messy. You can see how jagged and everything is. It's glued in there really good, so there was no way. I tried hot water to pry it off and everything, and I just ended up butchering it to pieces to get it off. This top piece just clips in easy, so I took that off as well. So then I was basically working with this piece, and this is what I ended up dremeling in here. And I just, before I started the live video, I super glued a milk jug cap in here. I think this is, whatever, orange juice milk jug, something like that. And just with a little bit of super glue, where did my super glue go now? Yeah, found my super glue laying on the floor with the cap off. That shows how organized I am. Anyway, I just use this Loctite super glue. That's what I typically use for doing projects. Works pretty well. So basically I had to use the Dremel to grind this all out, and it's got this, you know, uneven, jagged profile because that's the shape of Grogu's robe there. So I'm gonna have to sculpt this back in, and then I'll put it back together, just simple, and then I'll probably repaint it and have it so I can have Grogu on top of it. Just a simple little project, just something I'd try for fun. I don't have a diorama base built yet, but I'll probably build one out of foam with some of the rocks, and then when I get the Tython Boba Fett figure with the Mandalorian and maybe Fennec Shand, I can set them up. And eventually when the Dark Troopers come out, whenever that is next year, that's when I think I'll be able to display this as more of like kind of an interesting diorama piece. So that's what I'm working on tonight, and I'm going to get out some Epoxy Sculpt because this is dry. This has been drying for about 10 minutes now, and it feels nice and tight in there. All I did, I just wanted a substrate to sculpt against, and bottle caps are cheap, easy plastic like that. That works pretty well. So I need to find my Epoxy Sculpt, which is what I use for stuff like this. Bear with me. All right, so if you guys are into customs and dioramas and other crafts, you've probably heard of this stuff, but this is a two-part epoxy clay. It's a, you know, part A, part B. You mix equal portions. You just kind of knead them together in your hands like Play-Doh or clay until they blend together in color. And then it's real nice, easy to work with, and it dries up after a couple of hours. It's pretty hard and very durable, easy to paint. But while it's, you know, pliable, it's easy to sculpt and work with. So a lot of people recommended that to me when I got into the hobby, and it's still something I work with pretty regularly. But these are my first. You know, actually, this is almost empty. So I have another set because this was starting to dry out the last time I opened it. So it's been a couple months now. Oh yeah, see, it's kind of turning color, nasty. But basically, if I'm going to sculpt it in the top of this dome, I don't need much material. Probably maybe the size a little bigger than a quarter. So I'm going to grab equal portions of this. And this, I think you can get this on Amazon, this epoxy stuff. And it used to be around $35, $40. It was kind of expensive for what it was, but I've used it for a lot of projects, and you don't usually use a lot at one time. I've had this set, I think, for 2 to 3 years actually, and it's still usable. You probably should wear gloves with this. It does get on your fingers, it gets sticky. But all I'm going to do is I'm basically estimating. I think combined this will be enough material to sculpt that in with some extras left over. And you've got kind of this grayish green part B with the more whitish gray part A, and you just knead it together like this. And I'll work it like this for a couple minutes until it'll kind of blend together and form a consistent color and texture and stickiness. It's very, very sticky material, sticks to your skin. You know, when I get to the sculpting here, this is a small little project, obviously it's not going to take me a lot of time. I need to get a little cup of water is what I'll need to get, because the easiest way to manipulate this and get a nice smooth profile with this stuff is just a little bit of water on some sculpting tools. Even your finger for getting the basic shape in there, and then usually use some kind of a tool to smooth it out so you don't get the fingerprints in there. You can see what it kind of looks like there. See my thumbprint. So how's everybody doing tonight? Leave me a comment. Pop into the chat box there. Let me know who's watching. Where are you from? Do you collect Star Wars Black Series, or are you just kind of watching this for curiosity? Do you do dioramas? Tell me a little bit about yourself. As soon as I invite you guys to comment, the two people drop off. Typical, right? So as I'm kneading this, it is becoming more consistent. It's not quite as sticky as it was initially. Part of that's just because my fingers are covered with the stuff now. But the color has changed from, you know, bright white, dark, you know, grayish green to somewhere in the middle there. And it's kind of like the consistency of silly putty. It will harden up very quickly, you know, within an hour or so, in my experience. It's very similar to the green stuff that people use for custom figures and sculpting. The green stuff seems to be a little more pliable in my experience, a little more, you know, flexible, whereas this becomes rock hard once it dries. Hey, there's some guys weighing in. Hey guys. Darth Muzza, good day from down under. Nice. And then we got Sunny Lane from Ohio. Black Series Collector. How's it going tonight, guys? Yeah, it's going well, guys. Thanks for chiming in. Thanks for popping into the chat. Appreciate it. A little bit of social interaction is good. For me right now, it's about 8:20 in the evening on Saturday. What time is it in, I assume, Australia down there? Darth Muzza. Aren't you guys like 14 hours ahead of, I'm Eastern Standard Time, like New York time. So you guys are probably, must be midday or something for you on Sunday, right? It's pretty cool how we get to connect with people online like this, live streams all around the world. All right, so I've given this a good 5 minutes of kneading it back and forth, and you can see it, you know, the material, it tears apart. It's got a lot of you know, sticks to itself pretty well, but it's easy to break apart, and it's very easy to work with at this point. And because it's so sticky, I mean, I don't think I need to do anything to prepare this surface or anything. I mean, I didn't even wash that plastic. It just was sitting in my craft drawer. But this should stick pretty well to it, and all I'm just gonna, oh, look at that, it broke. Oh, I was too optimistic with my super glue. Well, that's what happens, huh? See, I didn't wait long enough. All right, so I'm gonna have to try this a little different. That's what, another fun part of live streams, huh? So I'm just gonna get a little more super glue in here, try to hold it in place, and be a little bit more careful. That give you guys a good laugh? Yeah, 10:20 in the morning in Australia down there, huh? All right, and Adrian Russell is weighing in. I'm a big Star Wars fan, and I'd like to learn how to do this. Yeah, I'm just having fun. You know, if you guys have seen my channel, I started collecting Black Series about 4 or 5 years ago, and as my shelf got more and more crowded, I thought I wanted to have some cool backgrounds, and you know, and that's how I got into dioramas. And then I found some of the, you know, custom building groups that I share about, and that's where I learned about like this material and just painting and sculpting and that sort of stuff. All right, so what I'm going to try to do, because that glue popped out of there, is I'm actually going to kind of sculpt here for the sake of the video that's going, and I'm going to just try to push it right over the edges and hold that green plastic cap in place with the clay. So if I push up on it and kind of work it around with my thumb, looks like I am going to have to mix up a little bit more material maybe. The other nice thing about this epoxy sculpt is that after it dries, you can sand it down. You can grind it or shave it and remove some of the material. You have to be kind of careful because it is pretty hard when it dries. But you can fix some of the stuff afterwards if you don't like the way it looks. So I've got a little bit more piece here. I'm just going to push it into this crevice here. The one thing I've learned about doing dioramas is when you're doing like rocks and organic things like this, it's actually very forgiving because the shapes in nature are not smooth and uniform, so there's a lot of room for error. All I'm doing right now is getting the basic filler in there. Yeah, see that coming together. I might actually shove some of the epoxy down in here to help hold that in place. I don't know, I might be asking for trouble doing that. This is just to try to hold that cap in there while the glue dries. And this whole project with this Grogu rock is just purely something fun I wanted to try. I have like zero pressure. I'm not making this for somebody, it's just for myself. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I don't care that much. I like, you know, it's kind of an experiment. So I do think it would be cool to have a really nice diorama of that scene from the end of the Book of Boba Fett when the Dark Troopers come and grab Grogu. So that's my ultimate goal. I'd like to be able to use this piece for that at some point. And I just like the light up effect and the sound. It's just cool when you can add something like that to a display. So yeah, again, I don't know if you missed the beginning of the stream. I got this Funko Pop from Target today. I think it was normally like $25 US. It was on sale for I think 17. So I pulled the trigger and decided to buy it, and took it home and started tearing it apart. So yeah, if you didn't see the beginning of the stream, this is the Grogu that comes on top of it, and so I had to Dremel that out because that was just, it was glued on there too hard. So basically use the Dremel tool and cut it apart until it came out. It's kind of like the consistency of like hard bubble gum, sort of. Yeah, Sonny. Yeah, the Jedi rock. Sorry, I'll back up for you guys who missed the beginning of the stream. The entire piece does light up and it has a sound effect. So I'll put these away. So it comes like this. It's got plastic base. There were just 4 screws here. I took out the 4 screws, and that got me to the inside. And so that got me to this point. I was able to pop out these 3 tabs here, so that I don't need that piece. And now I'm working with this piece. And that Grogu figure was really glued, factory glued on there really tight, so I had to cut it out, and that's why I have the hole that I had to patch in. But the bottom piece, if I turn it on, you got an on switch here, and I'll just kind of set it in place. I'll show you what it does. You know, this isn't perfect, but here comes the sound and the lights. So there you go. Yeah, it's got, I think, 2 or 3 different sound effects, and you have to hit the button each time. It doesn't stay on, but it's gonna be kind of cool to put that on a display and be able to hit that button every once in a while and light it up. Probably when I'm done with the top part here, I'll probably cut out these green green grassy pieces here and maybe sculpt those into, I don't know, I might leave them. They just look a little bit out of place with the Black Series scale. They look too big. I don't remember those rocks having a lot of large greenery around them in the shell. Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool too, Sonny. That's why I've had my eye on it for a couple weeks watching it. I wasn't sure if it was worth the cost or not, but I figured, you know, $17 for something like that I could use in my display for Black Series was worth a shot. and you know, and the project's going fine so far. This is kind of what I hoped, that I would be able to get it apart and do exactly what I'm doing. So I've got a little tiny bit left. After kind of patting it in there, I'm going to add this to the top. I'm going to step away from the camera too in a minute and go get some water so I can smooth this out. But I'm going to put this right here on the top here. And again, pushing pressure from underneath so that bottle cap doesn't pop out. Just kind of working it in. So this is a epoxy property. So it you know, when they mix together, they have the chemical reaction where they harden, different than normal clay. So let me step away for about a minute here, and I'll come right back with some water. Some cool ferns here too. These are pieces I got from plastic plants. Maybe I'll use some of these. Be right back, guys. Okay. Yeah, if you want to see the packaging for it, it's this one, Grogu Using The Force, number 485, Funko Pop. That was the packaging. I have some basic sculpting tools here. I got these, I think it was very inexpensive on Amazon, just a starter set. And they're basically silicone, so they're flexible. They have different profiles. I am not trained in sculpting or anything. I'm just kind of winging it as I go. But I know I just want to smooth this out, get my fingerprints out of there, and then I can maybe put some grooves and marks in it, kind of like the rock texture they have here. So again, just a little bit of water, and you'll see this, this smooth. I'm sure there's people watching this later who have much more experience than I do sculpting. Maybe you guys have some better techniques, but for me, I'm just kind of working it here. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try a flat profile. If anybody has any tips and you're watching, feel free to give me some tips, because I want this to be pretty seamless once it's done. Once I paint it, I am going to paint the whole thing, obviously, to repaint it so it all blends together. But I'd like this top of this rock part not to be too noticeable that it was added. Yeah, as far as the final product, I don't know when I'll get it eventually done here, but I have a little bit of time tonight, so I thought I'd jump in and just turn on the camera and try. Actually, this is working better with my fingertip with the water. You can see the clay. It's kind of like it's a little cloudy, the water that's running off of there. It's picking up some of the particles, but I am able to smooth it out, really feather that edge in around the perimeter here. And again, my experience with this is after it dries, like I'll let this dry overnight, and probably in about, I mean, it'd probably be ready to paint, honestly, in 5 or 6 hours. I don't know if I'll get to painting it tomorrow with my schedule, but I'll film it when I do, and eventually I'll put out a video probably showing the final product of how it came together. But this is actually working great just with the water. Forget the tool. The tool is actually leaving some marks there. So just having my finger is smoothing it out and getting rid of the fingerprints that were in there originally. Dab some towel there. And yeah, I can come back later once it's dry and hit it with some sandpaper too, if I still feel it's, you know, doesn't look that great. Yeah, you use your finger too, Sonny. That's good to hear. Finger's a great tool, right? You have the best control over it and everything, feeling it. I had a fun day today. I was out with a bunch of other collector buddies. We did a little toy hunting around near where I live, and I took my 2 younger sons out with me, and we went to Target and 2 other toy stores, and they got a couple things. It was fun. It was cool to go out with the other guys though and just have some time with some other collectors, hang out a bit. It's all through like Instagram and YouTube is how I met other people in my area that are into the same kind of hobbies. It's comforting and reassuring to know you're not a crazy weirdo when you find other people that are into the same stuff. I don't know, that looks pretty good to me right now. I mean, it's got a, I can still see it's not, you know, not perfectly smooth, but again, it's a rock. It's not going to be perfectly smooth. And once he's up on there like that, it's going to be pretty good. I think, do you guys know if there's a Black Series coming out with the eyes closed? I thought I saw that in maybe one of the deluxe packs. I'm thinking it might be the one, the Mandalorian pack with the one that hasn't come out here in the States yet. That comes with the spiders. I can't remember if he had the eyes closed in that one, or maybe it was the, oh, it was the one with the from the Mudhorn, right? Doesn't that one have it where his eyes are closed and he's using the Force? That was the set I don't think I was going to pick up because I didn't want to, I didn't feel like paying for that set when I already had all the figures. But here I am. If I do this diorama, I may want head sculpt of Grogu like that. So that's basically it for now. I'm going to let this dry. I'm not going to sign off just yet. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to ask. Yeah, thanks, Darth. Yeah, he's in the Muddy Mando pack. Yeah, I saw that in the stores, and I was like, man, I'm not going to spend $40 for this or $38 or whatever it was. It just was kind of upset at the pricing and, you know, the repaints and all that. But maybe I will pick up a Grogu at some point. So this is just going to snap back together. It does appear that the tabs are different size. Let's see if I can get it right. There's a little slot there with a little peg here, so that's the way it goes. Come on. That's it. Just clicks back in place. So there you go, a little bit of a modification to a Funko Pop rock. And now I have a light up rock that I can put my own Grogu on. Pretty cool. I wish I had a Mandalorian figure here with me, but I don't. I just got the black Umbra Trooper in. He just came today from GameStop. Pretty cool looking figure. I'm not as much of a Clone Wars guy, but I am a Black Series collector, so I tend to pick up at least one of most of the figures. And this is a pretty cool looking figure. But it'll be really awesome when we get like 6 Dark Troopers or so surrounding this guy. That's gonna look cool. $75 for that Mando pack in Australia. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Sunny, I live near Boston. I'm in Massachusetts. So, yeah, not too far, kind of between Boston. Yeah, you know, near Providence, near Hasbro, actually. So, yeah, and you said you're in Ohio, right? These this Umbra Trooper, I actually ordered them last week when GameStop brought them back online because I had missed the pre-order when it first came out, and last week I was able to jump on there, and I ordered two actually, and they just arrived today, so that was awesome. I know a bunch of people have been waiting a long time for these. Pretty cool figure. Yeah, I think it scales really well too. I know you guys are looking down on it in the camera, but here, I'll try to hold it up. Actually, he kind of sticks to it right now because that epoxy's wet. But yeah, it's gonna look good. Oh, see, now I put footprints in it. Now I gotta smooth it out again. See, I'm not patient enough with this work. I want things to be done faster, but gotta be patient. So these rocks have some grooves in it, so just for fun, I'm gonna make some marks, just like that. A little bit of. And then when I paint it, I'll probably do a black or a dark brown, you know, base color, and then some brown, different brown washes until I kind of get the color I want. All right, are we still going here? Yeah, we're still live. It's still recording. My chat seems to have crapped out on me. I'm not sure what's going on there, so I can't see the chat comments right now, guys. But I think I'm going to leave it there for tonight and sign off for now on this little project. And it's good chatting with you guys. Thanks for engaging. Appreciate that. And anytime you see anything on my channel you have questions about, you know, just leave a comment. I try to respond to everybody. And it's fun hobby to be in, you know, being a little creative with this stuff. I'm happy with how this came out. This looks good. Worth the $17 I spent today and the half-hour time or so getting it apart. All right, guys, I'm gonna end it there and say good night and say good day to Australia. And we'll see you guys on the next one. All right, may the force be with you guys. Bye.